Yo, what is going on, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, A Beautiful Game of Life, part of the Believe Network. I'm Ramsey Abushala, editor-in-chief of UrbanPitch.com. Julio Metorosa, co-executive director of Vibes. Happy New Year, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. I'm trying to debate starting a new job, feetfinder.com.
Okay, so this is a crazy way to start. This is the first podcast of the new year.
Hey, I need extra income, bro.
Okay, well, let's introduce the guest first, and then we can get into what you just said. Joining us in the studio, we're very lucky and blessed to have her, even regardless of how Julio just started this. But Ashley Niveth, content creator, she's putting together the Niveth Futbol Fest coming up in a couple of weeks. She's here to promote that. But Ashley, thank you for joining us, and I apologize on behalf of my co-host over here. But
I respect that, though. I mean, I feel that.
Get your money, king.
Period.
Okay, so Julio, get into that. What prompted you to say this?
We were talking about it before the
before
camera.
we started recording. Yes,
and they got me on hot mic. So before you guys make fun of me and post it online, so I'm just gonna go for it.
You're preemptively owning what you just
promote
said.
it. Promote it to everyone.
Not yet. But if you want to see guys with like broken toes that played soccer all his life, that's what you're into. I'm not gonna knock it.
Okay. So if you see Julio coming in with some new drip, some bling,
brand new
car,
teeth, it's over.
Once you see Julio veneers, you know where you got those.
It's over. It's over.
Over for y'all.
Follow the link on the bottom of the page.
Yeah, we'll plug that. We'll plug that in the show notes for all you freaks out there. But
veneers mean something. I'm doing something wrong in life.
He pulls up in a Ferrari next week.
Yeah. I mean, it can happen, and I don't like to knock anybody's hustle. So
me neither.
Julio, get it however you can, and I'm rooting for you.
I'm lying, Mom. My mom's gonna see it. She's like, what?
Yeah, that's why I tell my parents not to watch this.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Ashley, what's going on though? We're starting the new year, and we wanted to have somebody who, obviously Brigitte Flores, our normal third co-host. She's not here. We're gonna FaceTime her in a little bit. She's in Rio de Janeiro, taking in the new year. We're a little bit jealous, but that is where
we're
it is.
definitely jealous.
Yeah,
100% jealous here.
But Ash, just talk about yourself a little bit. Your soccer background, how you started. Because last time we had you here, I think you crashed your Tesla.
Yeah.
And so talk about how that kind of you started getting into soccer a little bit more.
So I don't have a soccer background.
Okay.
I never played soccer. But I started watching soccer. I want to say like in 2022, right before the World Cup.
Okay.
And yeah, the last time that I was here, I was supporting my best friend Sky, and on the way here, I got in a car accident where like back of my Tesla was gone. But I do soccer content. This is also my first time doing a podcast, so I'm a little nervous.
Oh, no, you're nervous because
damn, I messed it up. I started off hot.
Yeah. Well, Julio broke the ice, so you don't have to worry about that.
I won't be on feedfinder.com.
No, we won't. I mean, yeah.
If you want to be broke, that's on you.
Relatively
recent. Into what made you get into? Was it the World Cup, the hype around the World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, I worked in corporate America for the last, God knows, 6 years. My career started in entertainment. I was actually a translator on Major League Soccer at TUDN, Univision, and I worked for LA Galaxy right before the pandemic hit, and I loved it. And then the pandemic hit, and then they fired me. So
another reason I hate Galaxy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
LAFC all the way.
LAFC
Yes, that's actually why.
Ruining people.
LA Galaxy hurt my feelings.
Story shots.
Yeah.
After that, I stayed in the entertainment business. I was an executive assistant. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes.
So Jordan Belfort was my boss.
Oh. You worked for Jordan Belfort.
He was my bestie.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This is news to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you know a gal.
I mean, I want to get into soccer, but also like, what was that like?
It was amazing. So when I started with Jordan, I was his executive assistant. I traveled all over the world with him. I ran events. I ran his social media page.
Oh, wow.
And I was an on-call job. It was 365 days a year. We traveled to Europe. I went to Brazil. I went to Rio de Janeiro, all over the States, just doing events for him. So he would do the
sell me this pen
type of event. And so I did that for about a year, and then and then I just worked in the election department. Lord knows how those are crazy. I worked for Disney. I was a program manager there, and then I got fired in May because they let go of a bunch of government workers, and so I was part of that. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I was like, F this and F everyone. I was like, let me just start posting content. And it was the Club America game on May 22nd, I believe. Okay. Yeah. I'm a Club America fan, and I just ranted on TikTok, and I just went on a rant, and it went viral. And I was like, So I just got like really intrigued by that and started doing TikTok lives and streaming in July of last year now, because we're in 2026.
Right.
And then I posted a video because Mas by Messi's started promoting their brand. Yeah. Posted a video that I wanted to be part of their little tournament they were hosting, and it got picked up, and then that's how I met everyone. I started off with Sky and then Jen, and
that's a super quick kind of like
little summary.
Yeah, even from
time frame,
July, like 6 months, like it's crazy, like a kind of a whirlwind.
No, 100%. Because I met you guys in August.
Yeah, and I didn't know who you were.
Yeah, I thought you were doing it for a while before that.
No. And then I remember like just seeing you around more often, and then it's like, oh, okay, like I felt like you had been doing this for much longer.
No,
like she's everywhere.
Yeah.
So talk about that. How has that been for you? What has that rise been? And like, how have you felt like embraced by the community? Do you feel like it's competitive? Like how is?
I felt embraced. So I started off streaming, and I was on Twitch, TikTok, and Kick, and that community in itself was really welcoming, but it's also really hard. And so when I saw Mas by Messi and I met everyone, literally Jen, Sky, like brought me in as like family. Like Sky, I had just met Sky, I think like the week prior, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to come on a podcast with me and like just come with me and like make me feel better?" I was like, "Yeah, totally," because she was nervous.
You had just met
I had just met Sky, yeah. So it was like a week prior, and then we were hanging out like every day after that. Like we went to a concert.
We went to a concert,
we went. What concert was that? Anuel concert, and then it just went from there. And I think a week. Well, I was living in Vegas, by the way. So I wasn't in LA.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was living in Vegas. And so when all this was going off, I was like, well, I'm from LA. Like the place to be is in LA. It's not in Vegas for at least like entertainment. And like 2 weeks later, I moved back to LA. I got a message from Surgeon FC, which is they're part of the league.
Right.
And they're like, hey, do you want to like come and shoot content? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then I just started getting invited everywhere, and I never said no.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
was pretty much it.
That's so wild, because
you don't get invited nowhere.
I mean, well, because
that's no. I'm a girl.
No. When we get invited to nice places, we
don't know how to act.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, we got invited to Chelsea.
That was more than 2 years ago. 4 years ago now.
Man, I love you, man.
Yeah.
All right, but we got invited to a Chelsea was it panel?
It's like a panel discussion
at the Soho House in
downtown.
No, West Hollywood.
West Hollywood.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it was fancy, bro. Free drinks, free food.
Yeah.
So mid panel, they're like, all right, we're gonna close down the bar. Go get whatever you got for the bit.
You got
upset? No, we were stacked.
Bro, like when they said last call. So if you want to get a beer or
grab everything
a wine,
you want,
like. This is the time to do it. And it was like me, Julio,
Gilbert,
co-founder, and then Gilbert.
Yeah, Gilbert was there. Oh my God, Gilbert.
So I get a lot of flack for this, and for good reason. But Gilbert deserves a little bit of blame too.
Yeah.
Gilbert is not here to defend himself, so I won't.
We won't bash him. No Gilbert bash.
Okay.
But so anyways, we come back, like 6 beers in each, and just sitting there, we're passing everything down, and at one point, and also they were like giving out food, so we had plates. It was like stadium seating type thing. So there's a bunch of plates stacked, and so there's 1 beer left. And obviously we're paying attention to the conversation, what's going on.
Yes, we are.
And there's, they're having great talks about
Chelsea and Chelsea things.
No. Like what are the business buzzwords? It's like they're adding value, you know, the corporate
yeah.
synergy of football, and we love the community.
The environment,
and so
community.
It was the most buzzwordy conversation
And
of
the
all
Angel
time.
City GM was right there sitting down
Before she got
fired.
It was, Enya Luco. She was the pro football for a long time. She's
Chelsea legend
works
as well.
for BBC. She's a commentator, and she was providing some insight into LA. I think Richard Roscoe was on that as well. So
it was a panel. It was a good panel.
A good panel about soccer culture and how Chelsea fits into all that. Anyways, we're like passing drinks around and doing something. There's one beer left, and I was like, Julio, I'll take the first half. You take the second half. He goes, okay, fine. I take mine. I pass it over, but there's like a stack of plates right there, and I knock it, and literally it's like the loudest clanking, plate, and it was I was just like,
me and Ramsey go like this.
Everybody turns. It was like
looks at you.
Everyone had turned around, and we're sitting in the back, obviously, and so like you could see everyone just turn their heads. Like the panel, they were all professionals, so they kept going, but everybody else was. And we sank down. Julio got blamed for it.
Yeah, so I get a message, and then like John, the owner of the pod, goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" Julio, like. It's usually me, but this time it was Ramsey.
Yeah, and so that's what happens when we get invited to nice places. But also, like, we still, like, Julio shows up everywhere.
Yeah, I see you guys I see you everywhere.
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
No, but like, we behave. We got invited to the AC Milan event.
Yeah, we behaved there.
We behaved there.
Yeah.
And I saw Bridge at LAFC. You get like.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
she's there regularly. Yeah.
So Bridge works very hard. We all do our best. We've learned from our mistakes in the past. But from what we found, the soccer community, like if you show that you care about it and that like you have an earnest like.
To help and
like you want to be here. You're not just here because the World Cup is in 6 months. Or
not like Ashton Hall doing that cringe ass video of soccer, bro.
Oh yeah, so no sock.
No sock. He's raw dogging cleats, bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. It's a sport where and to your credit, Ashley, you like shoot content of yourself playing too.
Oh yeah.
And learning,
and trying to learn.
Not being scared to show how like. You got a lot to work with.
Well, I sucked. I'm not gonna.
If you see, game. It's like you can't just pick it up, right?
Yeah. No, you can't. If you see the Moss by Messi video, they literally caught me. Her name's Iran. You guys know who Randy is, right? She plays for CBU. She's a really good soccer player.
Okay. Right.
I got murdered by Randy. Literally, like I don't remember how it happened. Where I just kicked the ball and I ran towards it. I went face forward, straight to the ground. And it's on Moss by Messi's like Instagram page, like Randy's like doing her thing, right? But it's a really hard sport. Like I remember I kicked the ball and I was like, ooh, that hurt. I was like, that's not how you kick a ball. Yeah, I kicked it with my toes, and it's just a really hard sport for sure. Yeah. My respects to everybody that's been playing.
Your content's way better than the guy that's I'm gonna be part of the World Cup team with 2026.
The world. I'm not gonna say the name. I'm not gonna say the name.
Boobs.
He's leaned into that. Though. He's 100%.
Yeah, he definitely has.
But I mean, lucky though.
Those shorts are like all the way over here.
To his credit, though, it's taking off.
Sex sells, like your own feet finder. He just pulls up his shorts a little bit and
it's
shows
crazy
off.
because he's actually really good though. Like
he's got skills.
Yeah,
he's
super
skilled.
Yeah.
And then his brother too. He like they looked at like they both have skills. It's just funny like. It is captivating, like the way they do it started off because like I'm like, okay, let me see, and they're actually good.
And I feel like I think he did he do a video with the Galaxy? He did.
He did. I saw that. I saw that.
So like, I feel like if you someone like him, right, who's gotten a lot of flack, a lot of like people talk trash to him, but he showed that he's stuck with it and he's gotten really good at it, and people are like it becomes like
he lost a lot of weight too.
Yeah.
It starts off like, oh my
God.
It starts
like,
guy.
Oh my God.
And now it's like,
cringe.
Oh, this guy. You know what I mean? Like, look at him. I feel like that's like sticking with it is so hard. And I mean, someone like you that's newer to the game that wants to get into it or feel like be part of a new community. Like I feel like that's a pretty good example of how to do it. Yeah.
It's definitely being consistent, and then the football community is very welcoming. 100%. You just have to definitely put effort into it. And it is a lot of effort.
Right. Yeah. So now. Like, you said you grew up out here?
Yeah.
So when did you move out?
So I grew up in East LA, and I moved out when I was 17. So I didn't play soccer, but I ran track and field and cross country. And so I was really good at that. And I ran at the Division I level at St. John's University.
Oh,
and then
East Coast. Yeah.
And then I transferred to LMU. And I ran there. And what was your question? I forgot.
I just said.
Oh, yeah. And then at some point I was in a relationship that I moved to Vegas.
Oh, yeah. So the relationship took you to Vegas.
The relationship took me to Vegas. It was a horrible relationship. That actually.
Shout out to the guy.
That's crazy.
Definitely not the guy.
Right.
Definitely not the
guy. I'm joking.
No, actually, funny story, because like, because he's a huge soccer fanatic, and that's when I kind of started watching soccer. Because before I hated it, because my dad always watched it, and I like never got to watch the TV as a kid.
Is that the World Cup guy that they bought the ticket for?
Yeah. So I don't know if you've heard the story, but.
Go ahead and tell it.
In 2022.
That video went viral though, right?
Yeah. So in 2022, the same guy that I was dating that I moved to Vegas for his birthday, I was like, we should go to the World Cup. Like, you know, let's
Qatar.
Like Qatar. I was like, let's go to the World Cup. He's like, oh my God, yeah, sure. And I was like, I'll buy the flight tickets, and he was gonna buy the like entrance tickets to the field or to the game. The final, okay? This is without knowing who's gonna be there. So I bought the tickets, like the flight tickets, right? To fly from LAX to freaking Qatar. Yeah. You're talking about like $6,000 tickets.
Okay.
Each?
No.
Oh, but to say.
No.
That's also like a 24-hour flight.
Yeah. So like 3 days prior to the final, this is like Argentina's playing France, and like I'm a huge Messi fan. He's a huge Messi fan. So I'm like buying us Argentina jerseys, right, matching everything. And I'm like, hey, like, where are we staying? Because he was going to cover the hotel and the tickets, right? And he's like, he's like, yeah, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, a couple hours later, he's like, hey, can I borrow some money so that I can cover and I'll pay you back once I get paid.
Right,
I was like, for sure. Like, he's never asked to borrow money. So I was like, all right, fine. In my head, I was like, you know, he probably bought the World Cup tickets already, and those were really expensive.
Yeah, the final, like.
That's what you would assume, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I zell him the money for the hotel. And then the day before we leave, I was like, hey, like, where are we sitting? Like, what's the stadium? Like, what are we doing? And he's like, oh, like, don't worry about it. Like, once we get there, we'll figure out the tickets. And I was like, boy.
Okay.
I was like, okay. I was like, it's possible.
Right,
I was like, maybe. I was like, I don't know. So I had a couple of friends that were going. So I was like, okay, well, maybe they can help us out or whatever, right? So we get over there, show up to Qatar. Also for the final, there was a lot less people there. And so online and in media, it seemed like it was super big, and like there was a lot of women there. There was not that many women there. Okay. I was one of very few. It was very scary, you know,
very
position.
Masculine dominated.
Very masculine dominated environment. And so you're good.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, that's me?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's scam.
Okay.
They're trying to charge me.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Anyways, we get there the day before. He's like scrambling to find tickets, and he's like, you know what, like, we can't find a ticket, like, we're not gonna get in. And I'm like, boy, we just flew 24 hours across the world. I spent $6,000 for us to be here, plus the hotel,
right?
And so I was like, you know what, let me hit up some friends, because at the time I had just finished working with Jordan Belfort, so like I had some friends that were working there, and I had a friend who's like, hey, I can get you VIP tickets, $1,500 each.
Not bad, though.
And I'm like, for the final?
It's not bad.
For the final, it's
VIP,
not bad at all.
1,500.
And so I told him, I was like, hey, like, we were at breakfast. It was the morning of the game. I was like, hey, it's like $1,500 a pop. Like, it's super cheap. He's like, oh my God, that's such a good price, like, for the final, and we're gonna go see Messi play. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, can you pay for it, and then I'll tell you? And I was like, sir, I'm not gonna pay another $3,000 for both of us to go to the. That's now a $10,000 trip, right? And so I was really upset about that, and I texted my friend. I was like, hey, like, I'm not gonna go, and he was like, you know what, like, just come, you're for free, don't worry about it, you know, just come, like, it's the final. And so I didn't go.
Oh my God,
you did not go.
Oh, babe, I'll be back in about 2 hours.
I felt like, put yourself in my situation, right? When you're with someone for a minute, right?
Yeah.
If I would turn around and be like, hey, babe, I'm going to go to the World Cup final, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
That's like.
I mean, you paid for the trip, you paid for the hotel, you paid for, I'm assuming, like, other stuff too. At some point, it's like, hey, we're here because of me.
I love you.
I'm gonna go follow through with why I came here.
And Ramsey's married, so
I didn't want
I
to
don't feel
start a
bad
fight.
for saying the same answer.
I didn't want to start a fight at the time.
First of all, the fight's already started. You said that. What are you talking about?
We are mid fight.
We're deep in there.
That's a tough one. And
Hey,
so
bruh.
you didn't go. What did you do? You watched on TV?
So there was the fan fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look cool. You could have been in the game, though.
The fan
Trust me,
zone's like
is
a little overrated though.
I think it's overrated. Trust me. I would rather be in the stadium watching the game.
Yeah.
Not at a fan fest with like.
Or I would put like the fan fest like viewing experience lower than watching at home with like a group of friends.
Well, it depends though.
No.
Like during like the first 2 weeks of the World Cup, they're packed because it's like.
But we're talking about the final.
I know exactly, but I'm saying during the final, yeah, you're probably better watching at home.
You're better watching it at home at a bar in LA.
Trust me, we watched the final. So our World Cup final story from 2022, not as quite as brutal as yours.
First of all, I'm executive director of ICE for a reason.
Yeah. So we, that the event we did a couple weeks ago where we saw you.
Yeah.
That's our holiday urban pitch holiday outing. So we do that every year. Normally it's not an event like that. Normally, we go to dinner, do karaoke, go out, type stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we did that 2022 and we had a night. It was just fantastic.
Okay.
Went all out. We stayed in Orange County, and the next morning was the World Cup final. So it was a Friday night was the company outing. Saturday morning was the World Cup final. It was like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
We were hosting a watch party downtown in Pershing Square. We're not hosting the entire thing, but we were putting on an activation.
Okay.
And part of that was like we had futsal courts and we were supposed to be emceeing the games, making sure everything was going while the game was being played. So Brigitte and I and Julio were supposed to do all that. That was our job. We didn't go to sleep till probably 5, maybe. I don't even know if you guys slept. So we had a hotel room.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it was a rough, in terms of sleeping, rough night.
I'm probably running an hour of sleep.
It was a fun night.
Yeah, it was a fun night, but the sleeping, we had to be up at like 6 a.m.
We didn't get to the hotel at 3 in the morning. And
then some other things happened. And so anyways, we're up. Julio didn't sleep. Julio's still a little, twisted. And
beyond.
We get there. I go, look, I'll set up. You guys go get food, do all this and that. Because they were emceeing. I was like kind of overseeing like the event. So I was like, let me set up. You guys rest up as much as you can. Go get some food, do all this and that. They show up like maybe 30 minutes later after we're all set up. It's just Brigitte. I go, where's Julio? And literally, she goes like this. I don't know. Cut to maybe halftime. I see this guy taking shots with like all types of people in the watch party, and we go, oh well, we found Julio.
The bar sales went up because of me though.
You're the person that we have to put a Waldo outfit on at an event.
And then he goes, yo, my bad guys, like I know we were all getting paid for this, but you can take my shot. I was like, yeah, no, of course.
Yes, we are.
Don't need that little scrum change. Hey, so all right. So let me tell you my side of the story.
Yeah.
So I go home thinking Argentina won 3-0. I didn't even know if penalties happened. Then I'm like, oh, they would have. This was a good final.
Yeah.
Where was I?
It was a good final.
Yeah. So that was 4 years ago now. Well, I mean, I guess three.
Changed,
it's really three because we're still in January, right? This year, 2026, there's obviously the World Cup is going to be the event of the year, but there's a lot of other stuff going on too. So is there anything else that you're excited for, like in the soccer verse for 2026 besides that doesn't have to do with the World Cup?
I actually haven't even thought about that, to be honest.
Yeah, Julio, you got anything?
No, I'm just waiting for
I'm just waiting for the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm waiting for all the activations that
are
set to become like meeting new people in the soccer space is always fun. Seeing their stories, like I swear I thought she was in it for a while now. Like just because I see you everywhere, I see you at all the poppin' soccer events. So just getting to know more people, getting to know their story, and like collaborating, doing more stuff like this.
Definitely. I think there's going to be a lot more people here in LA than than we know, and maybe people that are Also content creators that are flying from different countries. So that'll be really exciting to like collaborate and get to know everyone.
Yeah. What about like MLS, NWSL, anything like on that front?
Club America, please. 17. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though.
I'm pissed off at Toluca.
No, I love when Toluca wins, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. Happy for you guys, but pissed off for myself and pissed off for my team. But like, if they win again this season, I will cry.
So I had an uncle that was the biggest Cardoso fan. He's like a Toluca legend.
Gross.
And so seeing them win, but it's not even that. It's Alexis singing the same damn song every time they win the championship. Like, that's my thing. Like, every time he wins, I want him to sing that song all the time.
You did. I mean, that song, it started with Club America, but they picked up the Amianelo after.
Oh, I didn't know
that.
Yeah.
Is this, I don't know this.
So yes, it's a song. It's basically taking care of a trophy.
Right. I know that, but I don't know like the origin of it.
When did America? How did America start it?
It started when they won the first one.
Oh, and they did it.
So but then there was multiple songs that they were playing with, and then Amianelo is the one that like they took off with.
Oh, well, there you go. We're learning new things here.
Yeah.
And so I think just like you guys said, all the excitement, the hype, activations, events, people coming through, tours.
Hopefully you get a national team player on the pod.
Well, also, I don't know if you guys are aware, there's like a creator league that's coming up. Like, so obviously some of us like myself that have not played soccer or maybe don't play professionally, there's like a Mexican creators team. There's a U.S. creators team. There's a Brazilian creators team, Colombia creators team, where we're also playing competitively.
Right.
As competitive as we can get.
I saw that.
Right?
I saw that.
So that's definitely that I'm really excited for, because in February we're supposed to go to Mexico to play against Mexico.
Sweet.
Oh,
nice.
Damn.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, another thing I'm looking forward to is the Niveth Futbol Fest. That's coming
Yes.
up in about a week. So that's that. I mean,
We gonna be there.
We will be there.
Period.
Taking in the vibes. Can you just talk about that a little bit, because I think that's a really cool thing that you got going on.
Thank you. So I'm created this thing called Niveth Futbol Fest. It's really just I've been a part of a lot of like you guys know what talacha is, right? Like soccer.
Basically.
So
like
pick up like some of the best soccer players and soccer teams in LA, playing at a rooftop in Glendale at the Americana, and then just getting creators and other soccer fanatics at the event. It's a free community event. Like, I mean, I grew up in East LA. I didn't really grow up with like much. I never really went to events because we could never afford it. So it's a free event for the Los Angeles community and anybody that wants to attend. And it's just a soccer tournament and, just celebrating soccer and having fun.
Cash prize?
No, because I can't afford it.
Right. Prize for the winner, though?
Yeah. It's an Adidas like kit, an Adidas swag bag and everything.
That's
and then a cup, like a trophy cup.
Shout out to Adidas. They've been really
Shout out to Adidas.
Really, really present.
Shout out
to Spencer for helping a lot of these creators out, especially with us as well, with our kickback. So shout out to Spencer, shout out to Adidas.
And we're gonna be there.
Thank you.
Vibes,
I'm excited.
Talking to people. Yeah. So VIP guests, all types of stuff going on, like activations.
There's activations. There's gonna be soccer, tennis, soccer, golf. There's gonna be a photo booth, like a FIFA photo booth, where you can take a picture with like a World Cup ticket. Face painting for kids. All this is free, by the way.
You can take a picture with the World Cup ticket but not go because it's not a real ticket.
It's not a real ticket.
I got my ticket right here, bro.
Let me preface that. It's not a real ticket. It's not a real ticket.
Right.
So it should be pretty fun. It's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's going to be a VIP creator area where, there's unlimited drinks for everyone. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you needed to get us there.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Listen, Ashley, this has been great. We can't wait for next week. We'll be there. We'll post some recap videos, and if you haven't yet heard of it, go check it out. Tell them the date, January 10th?
January 10th, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's at the Americana in Glendale, California, on the 8th floor of the parking lot. Literally the rooftop.
Shout out to, what's the dude's name? Ran for governor? Or mayor, the dude who made the Americana. You know what I'm talking about?
Was it Villaraigosa? No, it wasn't Villaraigosa.
No. He ran for mayor against Karen Bass. Come on, man. He made the Americana and the other one,
the Grove.
The Grove. Yeah, he's the guy. What's his name? I'm blanking on his name.
I'm blanking on his name too because we usually
white ball guy.
Yeah.
He said he's a Democrat, but he's really Republican. Damn, I don't.
Me and my history don't get along.
Anyways, shout out to him. And yeah, there
Rick
we go.
Caruso.
Yeah. Shouts to Caruso.
Caruso did
Okay.
Yeah. He's the dude. Anti-shout to him, but anyways, shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Niveth Futbol Fest. We will be there. We will most definitely be there. And now we have a surprise. We're going to check in with our third co-host, Brigitte Flores, who is in Rio de Janeiro. So let's FaceTime her, and we'll get into the vibes there.
Boom. Obrigado.
All right, we are here with our girl, co-executive directors of Vibes. Is going international. Brigitte Flores is joining us. We couldn't have the first episode of the new year without you. Bridge, what's going on? How are you?
Hola de Brasil. Todo bem? Todo bem? Hey, what's up, guys? I'm out here in Brazil on Brazil time. I think is it afternoon for you all?
Yeah, we're shooting in the afternoon. We're kind of switching things up a little bit. But yeah, you're a few hours ahead. We obviously would love to have you here, but we'd also love to be with you out there. But talk to us. You did Rio for New Year's. What's it been like? What are the soccer vibes like? How has it been over the last few days?
It's been incredible, unreal, amazing. New Year's in Brazil is like no other. I think they actually hit a world record this year with the celebration that is going into the Guinness World Book of Records. So basically, we were living in the moment of making history, and that's going to go down in the books, and we'll be able to share that forever. And I could see why, like the atmosphere, the amount of people, just the camaraderie, and then the show after. There was like a huge show by Alok, which is one of the biggest DJs known out here, and he had an amazing set, EDM, a drone show. Like there was other stages as well. Gilberto Gil, who's a big Brazil singer artist as well. So it's just amazing. Everything about it was incredible, and I keep having flashbacks. Like I want to go back to the moment. It was one of my the best ways to bring in the new year.
Yeah, you got the Brazil kit on too. You're representing.
Yes, sir.
Have you been? I know because outside of the New Year celebration, I saw you're kind of exploring the city a little bit. I know Rio, they got all types of shops and selling the bootlegs. What's been the most common jersey that you've seen since you've been out there?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't miss this opportunity to jump in with you guys. I would have loved to be there. I would have loved to be there with Ashley, but I think this is a great opportunity to just kind of emphasize that Futbol is everywhere here in Brazil. Like it is nonstop. It's like eat, sleep, drink, everything, soccer, and it's amazing to see. Like they really live it and embrace it here. It's everywhere. I can't even begin to describe. There's soccer balls everywhere. People are just kicking the ball, touching the ball. There's soccer spaces in different areas. But the beach, because that's where we're at, we're in Copacabana. They have just different people either playing beach volley, soccer volley, or everyone's carrying around a soccer ball. Jerseys everywhere, huge representation of a lot of the majority of the Brazil teams within the Brazil Serie A league. But of course, Flamengo just won the Serie A league. They're the 2025 champions. So that's probably the biggest jersey I've seen all around. We are in Rio as well. So it's one of their teams. But Flamengo for sure has been the biggest representation, and then Fluminense, and then Palmeiras. Obviously the other teams, Botafogo, Santos, Vasco. I've been learning all of these teams just from the visuals and being out and about, but everyone's rocking a jersey. It's also cool to see that there's been jerseys I've seen from Chile. And I think because of the timing, New Year, everyone's out here for New Year's. There's a lot of Argentinians. So Julio, they're repping your team, Boca. I see it everywhere. It's insane how many Boca Junior jerseys I've seen. I've seen only one Inter Miami jersey, so I could say that the Messi effect is not relevant in Brazil. And then one other MLS jersey I saw was the New York Red Bulls, which is some random guy selling stuff on the beach wearing a faded New York Red Bulls. And then of course I had to get my own. This is for sure bootleg, but it's in the best way, the best representation. So
it's fake, but you keep it clean though. You keep it clean though.
It's fake, but I'm keeping it real straight from the streets of Brazil.
I feel like that bootleg it's like a different type of culture because like you'll see like not only just like a bootleg Messi jersey or a bootleg Neymar kit, but like the crazy designs with dudes' faces on them or like, you know, weird stuff that you've never seen. So that's like a whole nother thing that they have out there too.
Yeah, this one actually has the Cristo in the middle of it. So the Christ the Redeemer symbol that they have, it's like right on the middle, which is why I got it because I'm like, it's cool. It like represents the city. It's bootleg, but it's still a vibe. And I think we've talked about this on the pod before. Like, I feel like it's kind of the way to go when you're in these areas and within the locals. Right. Like, there's so many people wearing just different types of jerseys, and whether that's like they're like one of a kind or they're real or they're fake, they're still representing, and like that's the biggest thing. There's some though that you have to be careful with because some of the logos, they're legit like painted, and I'm like, come on, man, like that's you're not gonna give me that. You're not gonna give me that. The guy selling me these, he was like trying to upsell them, and I was like, no. Muito caro. And I was like, más barato. And he was like, oh, in Portuguese, he was like, women are so complicated in every planet. And I was like, wait, I can make it easy for you. Give it to me. three for under like $40 and we're good. And he was like, tá bem. And I was like,
Oh, so they out here speaking facts in Brazil.
Worldwide language, clearly.
All right, Bridge. Before I don't want to keep you too long. I know you got to do your thing out there.
Caipirinhas are calling your name.
The Caipirinhas are calling your name. That's right.
Yes, they are.
What's your New Year's resolution, both in and outside, either in or outside soccer?
Just being New Year's resolution in all aspects. I would say being bold. And that encompasses so much. And I'm not going to get into it because I could go on forever about it, but just being more bold and embracing more of like the passions that we carry. I think being here and seeing everyone do that so naturally, I think is a reminder of how we can do that ourselves with our cultures back in the States. And I think we're seeing a lot of that grow, and we'll see more of it next year with the World Cup coming. So just being bold and embracing our roots is what I would say.
But I mean, we could all use a little bit of that. Thank you so much, Bridge. First ever international Bridget's Corner, joining us via FaceTime. Thank you so much, Bridge. This has been another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, The Beautiful Game of Life, part of the Believe Network. For Brigitte Flores, Julio Monterosa, Ashley Niveth, I'm Ramsey Abushala. We'll see you next week. Happy New Year, and keep it tapped in.